Welcome back, everybody, to another Digital Gate Studios production. We finally got some EX5 decks tested, built, and we're having a blast. What do you got for us this time?
Well, I have my new favorite keyword.
Okay.
Fortitude.
It's a new one.
Yeah, this is a new keyword, brand new to EX5. Guys, I love this. Let us know in the comments what you think of Fortitude. Obviously, the Heavy Leo is a dominant card. The whole Leo line is a great, awesome, fun deck. This is going to be specifically Merukimon.
Gotcha.
Right? This is a Merukimon-based video. Right. So this takes me back all the way to the BT3 days of playing Kreskarumon.
Yeah.
Where you'd really play that like red base, kind of one of those first multicolored decks, kind of.
Yeah.
BT3 started giving us that. And you would really just like play bodies for free and you would take advantage of good on plays.
Yeah.
So I took a lot of inspirations from that and a lot of how much I liked that deck and the direction I wanted to go and started applying it to this. But I think there was a really unique way to play this.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just explain the thought process of this deck before I dive in the deck profile, right?
Okay.
We have Merukimon, Fortitude, on play, and when digivolving. So that's pretty nice, right? Reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a level 5 or lower with Fortitude, play it for free.
Cool.
Boom. And then your turn, all of your Digimon with Fortitude and no Digivolution cards gain Rush. So, Fortitude. What is Fortitude exactly? That means you can swing with the body as if it has the Fortitude keyword and it has sources. You swing, it gets deleted, right? It comes right back.
Yep.
You get to trigger on plays like with Grap Leo and Loader Leo, or even the on play of the Maruki. But what I really like about it is that you can still focus on making a stack and setting up for your end game.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you can have that aggression and swing into security. You're okay if it dies. It doesn't set you back all the way because it just gets replayed.
I think I know why it's your favorite keyword, too.
Why?
Because it brings back those old Millenniumon
It
vibes,
does.
you know?
It really does. So my thought process with this was basically two directions at first, right? You either play X antibody path, set up with a bunch of cool boys, play the X antibody option, maybe even use like some 3s and 4s with X antibody. The weakness, though, is that your 5s are kind of predetermined in this deck because you really want the big 5s coming out with Fortitude. So in the X antibody, right, technically you can tuck X antibody under like this Grap Leo, swing, and if it dies, it would have a Digivolution card. It would come right back. Yeah. However, according to some research, and this is probably why this video has been delayed a week, is you cannot, they lose that rush if they have that X antibody option underneath. Very interesting ruling on how the whole, it gains rush, but then it loses it if it has the source.
Yeah.
And ultimately, because the 5s are chosen, you kind of don't want to go the X antibody route as much. If you want to sneak with it, maybe play an X antibody or 2, there is some room in this deck we can talk about at the end. You can do that and have some fun. And then another path that I thought is because, for example, we're playing a new Hawkmon and a Fortitude Aquilomon, they're both freeze. Okay. I tried the movie promo Ken.
Oh, yeah.
And I tried the other level 3s being Wormmon, searched a whole bunch of 2-color, right? Like Grap Leo, Loader Leo, right? And then also all the BT12 and that movie promo have like an end of turn DNA. So then, you know, I like experimented with Imperial Ace to try to like, you know, these 5s are getting played, right? So it's like, let's have an ace to counter with. But ultimately, that was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
You know what really took this over the edge, in my opinion?
What's that?
You, man. You play Green Gotcha. And I love Green Gotcha. But it's great as we play 2 different versions of Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like the version using that dual tamer. Not saying it's better. I think, obviously, the Nats results, we had a top 64 player using the version.
I was so stoked to see that.
Using the version you like with the Jogamon and using that Mommy Tyramon, right? That is such a cool idea. And again, my 5s are kind of already chosen. So I'm going to go the dual tamer route and have it so that way when this swings, I can trigger that dual tamer and I can digivolve into another Fortitude level 6 and get things going that way.
I like that.
So that is the direction of this deck. Let's just dive into the deck profile now.
Okay.
So I am playing a brand new egg, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Nyaromon, right? It just says all turns, while this Digimon is suspended, it gets plus 1k.
Yep.
So if I swing,
you're suspended.
I'm suspended, plus 1k. It's just
Suspending
generic.
Suspending is the first step of attack.
So it's a really powerful card. I like it because, yes, you do kind of are, like I said, you're okay with that Fortitude dying. But let's say you just need 1,000 more DP.
Yeah.
All right, let's say you want to make them really work to get rid of your body. on the opponent's turn, you still have an additional 1K. Really makes your opponent work. So I've been a big fan of that. This might be my new favorite level 3 in the game just because it's a green Hawkmon, a card I didn't think I was going to get.
Green bird.
A green bird, yep. On play, reveal the top 3 cards. Add all Digimon cards with Fortitude.
That's really good.
Another reason why I'm not going the gotcha path of playing the level 5s that, like, you know, you love and I love too, but I want the Fortitude bodies, right?
Yeah.
This allows me to get a lot of pieces. Now, that dual tamer, Izzy and Mimi, we'll talk about its memory condition, but this card does help with that memory condition.
Makes sense.
Playing 4 of the security Pulsemon at the end of battle, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then you add that to your hand. If you can't tell by just seeing this Pulsemon being here, your 3s are a little bit more flexible.
Yeah.
So if you have a 3 that you really like, or if you want to play more Floodgates, you are totally welcome. I'm kind of more leaning into this particular style of the deck with, you know, just Pulsemon being able to suspend a body, a little bit additional control, things for my level 5s to swing into, whatever, right? Just, you know, a little bit more over the top. This is a fun addition to the deck because I do feel like my 3s are flexible because, honestly, with Fortitude, you're swinging, your stack's going to go away anyways.
Yeah.
Right? So you might as well have, you don't need, you know, that great inheritables. All of this Hawkmon, by the way, does have that same inheritable as the egg. So that
really
does
good.
add up.
Yeah.
Gatsumon. You may reveal 1 green Digimon card from your hand. If you do, place it on top of your deck. So the thought process behind this deck is that I'm going to have Hawkmon grab me as many Fortitude pieces as I can, and then eventually I can put them on top of my deck to ensure that I still have that capability, right, of being able to, I need to put a card on top of my deck, so that way Merukimon is going to play it, right, when I Digivolve or, you know, something else. So I'm more taking advantage of these BT7 type cards that we got, where you can kind of manipulate your deck a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. So that way you don't have to use that Koromon egg.
Yeah, and exactly. I was that Koromon egg is nice. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think it was necessary with this edition. And then I am playing 2 of the EX3 Palmumon.
Okay.
So I'm playing this because I have a couple cards that spend my own stuff. So why not take advantage if I have the flexibility? Like I said, you really do have some flexibility in the 3s in general if you want to play a different set of stuff, but I'm playing this Palmu because, you know, I have an HBD. It's too good not to play in green decks.
Absolutely.
You suspend this, you suspend one of their bodies, you Digivolve for free, right? Then you can control the board really well. So, and let's dive into the first level 4. This is a Fortitude level 4. How interesting.
Interesting,
right?
Yeah.
And a Kilomon. So it's really not that strong DP wise, right? So you're kind of like, wow, it's not a 3-cost Evo. It's just a Fortitude level 4. It's pretty strong. I like this card. It has a pretty good inheritable all turns while it's suspended. Gets plus 1K. Again, you might not always need the inheritables with the way this deck rolls.
This is a sticky body deck.
That's the types of decks that I love. You're kind of you're able to promote out of raising because you don't care if your stack isn't perfect.
Yeah.
You're able to swing with the level 4 Kilomon because it's going to come right back. You can still trigger the Digivolution of your Loader Leo, Grap Leo, and then that body is sticky because it's got Fortitude.
Yeah.
And your 6 is even more difficult to get rid of, right?
They definitely power crept it up because old stuff, when it would play back, it usually played back suspended, but you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and here's a card you and I both love.
Yeah.
BT7 Tortomon.
This card's insane.
I love this card, right? So, Tortomon, when attacking, you may reveal 1 green Digimon card from your hand and place it on top of your deck to have this Digimon gain plus 3,000. So, a lot of times with this card, you're just like, I don't care about the DP. Obviously, it's amazing. Do not get me wrong.
3,000 is a lot.
3,000 is huge. It's
for level 4.
So much with it, right? But most of the time, you just want to put a card on top of your deck.
Yeah.
And you want to control what that is.
Yep.
The fact that this card does both and is only a 2-cost Evo is absolutely insane.
And a 4-cost hard play.
Yeah. So this is just really leaning into that gotcha style of play. I will say that there was an honorable mention that of what I was playing before this when I was doing that dual colored with the Wormmon, the movie When the Searches 2. I was playing the Kogamon from BT8 because it's green-purple, so it's searchable with that 2-color. Then it gives retaliation.
Yeah.
You know how fun it was to have a retaliation Fortitude stack? Swing into a big body, and then my body comes back because it had Fortitude? But I ended up finding out that I kind of just would rather stick with the gotcha path true and true.
Yeah.
This card is too darn good. This is BT14 Togemon.
Ooh.
Another reason why I'm playing 2 of the EX Pomamon here. Your turn, once per turn, when you would play a green Tamer card from your hand, by suspending one of your green Digimon, reduce the play cost by 3. So, in order to make this combo happen, I need Tamers.
Yep.
Right? So there's no reason for me not to play Tamers cheaper if I can. I don't necessarily have a way to play them for free. Pangemon is kind of inaccessible because I'm trying to keep my level 5 spot full. So I might as well have this Togemon that I can suspend a Palmumon, suspend a body of theirs, or I just suspend my own stack, whatever it may be, to really get those Tamers going.
Yeah.
So that way I don't have to worry about paying for free and I'm not falling behind. That is going to be it for my level 4s. You could... I really like the Rapidmon and the Arbormon kind of one of that I've been doing, but I really just wanted to make sure that I had Fortitude that's searchable, Fortitude that's playable by Merukimon, the Tortomon to really set up the deck the way I want to set it up, and then a way to play Tamers for cheap. So that's the direction I went. Love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments if you go a different way. We're going to go into 5s, and I'm going back to my roots of playing 9 level 5s.
Okay. That seems like a decent number in this
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So if you haven't noticed, I went 13 level 3s, 11 level 4s. I'm kind of doing that N-2 advice that I heard early on in my career with Digimon, where it's like for your ratios.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with that, and I really wanted to play 9 level 5s because of the gacha aspect, because of the fact that Merukimon gets to play him for free. I did try 10, and I don't think Ted flooded me, but I just wanted to fit a little bit more room to have a little bit, like, kind of round out the edges of everything that I play, right? So Grapleomon, Fortitude, again, awesome. It works really well in this deck. On play and when digivolving, so you do get that on play when it comes back with Fortitude. When return one of your opponent's Digimon with 4K or less to the bottom of the deck.
Ooh.
It's pretty nice.
That is pretty good.
Pretty nice.
Yep.
The Loader Leo pairs really well with that as well. Both of these are 4-cost evos, so sometimes that can hurt. I don't think it's a secret that every deck is going to play training from now on, basically. So there are ways to reduce it.
A lot of monocolor.
If you really want to. But this one as well, Fortitude on play, when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 until the end of their turn. So this is really nice if you suspend one of their bodies, and then you're able to swing into it because you reduce the DP by 3, even if you have the stack of +1, +3, +1, whatever number, right? And then my last one, I think it's just one we kind of showed off in the preview, one of Garudamon.
Birds.
This is tough, right? Because obviously I really like the 3-cost Evo more than I like the 4-cost Evos here. Right, but I do think that the on play of these two are a little bit more relevant than the Garudamon.
Makes sense.
You could make the argument, especially since I don't necessarily have anything specific that searches these, because Hawkmon can grab all of them. You could make the argument maybe doing like a 3-3-3 split, and maybe that would be better for the video. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this, but I think these two inheritables, giving a Leomon blocker and giving a Leomon piercing, really effective.
Yeah.
This one does give +1K if you're suspended, so it is universal. There's a lot you can do with it, but you have to let me know in the comments what you think. Let's dive into the boss. We've already talked about him briefly. For Merukimon.
Maruki.
Card is great. Card is awesome. I do think that he is almost like, while I will say this is not necessarily stronger than the heavy Leo deck, it really is or whatever, you could play this almost as a better backup level 6 in the Bancho Leo spot of that deck too. And I do think this is a really fun deck. I really like the way this plays. And then I just think because I'm playing so much Leo support, the fact that it's searchable by Hawkmon as well, and it's just one of the best green level 6s we've ever gotten.
That one was a sneaker when it came out.
It's so good. This is Heavy Leo. Heavy Leo is insane, so I'm playing it as a 3 of. It's searchable by the Hawk. I can trigger the inheritables off the Scrap Leo. I can make a really dominant Heavy Leo stack while Maruki can give that ability rush, right? So let's talk about them. Fortitude, first of all, insane. When digivolving and on deletion, de-digivolve 1, then it's going to return 1 6K or lower Digimon to the bottom of the deck. It's insane. That's insane. But it's not done yet. End of attack, once per turn, return a 4K of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. But if you didn't, you unsuspend this Digimon.
Yeah.
So let's say Maruki starts setting up your bodies, right? You end up with a Maruki and a Heavy Leo on board, right? Heavy Leo can swing once, twice, 3, 4 times, whatever, just because of the fact that he becomes a new Digimon. He will have Rush from the Maruki. I just think this Heavy Leo is too good.
Yeah.
It's just too good. We are playing 1 level 7 because it's a green deck, and I feel like you just got to play Quartz. It's so strong. You do not have to. There is flexibility in this spot if you don't want to play Quartz. If you're a fan of Death X in that spot, if you're a fan of Merciful Mode, so you kind of don't cover up your Fortitude afterwards, you do have flexibility in this spot.
Rosemon Burst Mode could also go there.
Rosemon Burst Mode sick as well.
Yep.
There's a lot of good choices.
Quartzmon universally good in wide formats, though.
Absolutely. All right. BT5 is Mimi. How many of you guys know what this card does?
Gotcha.
Gotcha, exactly. So let's start at the beginning. Start of your turn. If your opponent has a suspended Digimon in play, gain 2 memory.
2.
Really reason why I went towards that Pulsemon. To be able to suspend one of their bodies that maybe they didn't plan on or whatever, just so that way I can give myself a little bit extra memory.
That's one of the OG dual tamers. That's one of that's back in the days of like the Sora and Joe
BT5.
and TK and Kari. Yeah.
Yes.
That's back when the newer versions were always if you have something get one, if I have something get one. But that was a different time.
Yeah, so this can gain you a lot of memory.
Lots of memory,
It is a 4-cost Evo for Maruki. It's a 5-cost or a 4-cost on a Leo with the heavy Leo, right? Quartz is 6. And if you, let's say you want to pay 3 memory to play Gatsu and reveal something and put on top of your deck, right?
Yep.
You do kind of need some memory, and this can really help out in ways, and it's kind of instrumental to our combos, right?
Yeah, let's get to the good part of that card.
Your turn when you attack with a level 5 green Digimon. Only requirement, level 5 green. So we're playing 9, right? We get to play them out for free with Merukimon.
Yep.
You have them gain Rush when they start the swing.
Yep.
We can trigger this card.
Yep.
We can play this Tamer for cheap with that Togemon, right?
Yep.
See where I'm going with this, guys? That's what I'm talking about. What you get to do is suspend this Tamer to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may Digivolve 1 green level 6 Digimon among them into the attacking Digimon, right? Without paying the cost. But then you put the remaining cards back at the bottom. So what does that mean? That means you get to swing with Grappleomon, Loader Leo, Garudamon, trigger the Tamer, suspend it, reveal the top 3 Digivolve into any level 6 revealed for free.
Yep.
And you trigger the when Digivolving effect. You do not necessarily trigger when attacking.
Yeah.
Right? But you do trigger end of attack of the heavy Leo because the attack will finish, assuming it lives, right?
Yep.
And even if it dies, it's got Fortitude. You can play it back with Merukimon. So there's just so much value to this gacha style, and I just really like this direction.
It's really fun.
It's so much. It's just such a fun way to play this game, right? This is one where I'm torn to play 3 of this because you do want that memory, and just Mimi is so good.
It just accelerates your turns.
It just accelerates the turns. That's another reason why we're playing a little bit more level 3s than most decks probably do. So that way we can have a lot of Digivolving. Maybe I should probably play a 5th egg. Oh well. Mimi's just so good in this deck.
I think when you get into the 3 and 4 range of that Mimi, then you definitely want to have 5 eggs. I think you're probably safe with 2.
Yeah. And with all these Tamers, Quartzmon just gets even stronger.
Yep.
So this is where I'm torn, right? I'm playing 2 trainings. I do think that training is important in this deck because the Evos are expensive on my top half, right? Training just really helps. The search is great on this card too. I just don't see a reason not to play agility training.
No, I think you need to because boosts are going to bottom deck your gimmick, right? It's going to bottom deck your gotcha tamers, and you really want those to accelerate the deck. So I think training is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, and you could make the argument going down a 3rd or 2, 3 of this dual tamer. I don't know. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I really just want to stick with the combo, so I decided to play 4. You could even make the argument going up to 8 level 6s. So these are all little spots that you could make room, to increase the number of 6s so you can gotcha goes off a little bit more, even though we have Tortomon and Gatsumon to do things that other decks can't do, which is manipulate the top of the deck for when you're ready to do this. But my last card in the deck is Hidden Potential Discovered, and the reason why I bring this up is, do you play 3 Mimis? This is where I'm at right now. I think 2 is plenty. I really want to hear you guys' thoughts. I think the Hidden Potential Discovered is just so good. It helps. You could suspend a Pomu, suspend a body there, Digivolve into Heavy Leo for free. There's just so much this deck can do, and I think if you're just efficient with your memory, you're able to search your pieces properly, you're able to Digivolve for free with HBD and the Dual Tamer, you can go really far.
My favorite part about that is that Heavy Leo unsuspends. So if you don't know, Tortomon is not once per turn, so you're able to do that multiple times. which
So
is
good.
and gain 3K each time. So
good.
your heavy Leo can easily get above 20,000 if you keep swinging.
It's pretty insane,
Yeah.
guys. Guys, this is the Merukimon deck profile video.
I love it.
Hopefully you guys like this version. Like I said, the other 2 versions were thoughts that were in my mind and I tested with. This is where I ended up. I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. And stay tuned. EX5 is here.
It's just kicking off.
Just kicking off. We got BT15 around the corner. We got tons of great stuff coming your way.
All right.
Thanks.
We'll see you guys in the next one.